I know I can stop into Co-op and Grad Services. They're going to help me. They've got samples, they've got a contact name for an employer I'm trying to reach, they've got something for me.
It'll definitely help them with their interview skills for post-grad when they're applying for more real jobs. Obviously they'll give them job experience now, which will help them at jobs post-graduation.
What we find is that people who use our service, come back. We have a lot of return business. People find it valuable.
I think it's great because a lot of students don't have the opportunity to actually job seek, so this is convenient.
So whatever we can do to support, regardless of whether it's an internship or placement in co-op, to us, your family, your students, and we're there to serve you, and that's just the bottom line, really. We operate very much like a job gym on campus, so one of our goals is to just make sure that students looking for work have access to all the resources they need. So we do resume review, cover letter review, of course we post jobs, we run events on campus with employers, we do one-on-one counseling, class presentations, and then it's like a walk-in self-serve, so students can come in anytime and just use a fax or a phone or print a resume or do whatever they need to do as long as it's job search related. I think for some students, it's just maybe they've been job searching, it's just a reminder and it's an update. But for other students, they may have never done a resume. We get a lot of students who've worked for family, who've worked at the same job for a number of summers, and who've never really had a professional resume, who haven't done an interview, a formal interview. Sometimes I see people, sometimes I go through the mall and I see retail stores interviewing people on the benches and just asking them a few questions. So we try to say to students as a graduate, interview process is going to be very different. It's going to be a lot more competitive. So I think it gives them a sense of what reality is, and it hopefully prepares them to have that confidence to go out and job search on their own, because again, getting a part-time job is a lot easier than getting a full-time grad or career job. So part of it's advice and part of it's preparation and part of it's just support for whatever they need. So co-op students and grads, the process is a little bit different. For co-op, the students will connect with a consultant who's going to run a series of workshops for them. They're going to get a resume review workshop. They're going to have a one-on-one interview practice. They're still going to use the services in co-op and grad employment. For grads, we often reach out to them through classes. So we might go in and do a class presentation, and as a follow-up to that class presentation, they'll come in, they'll book appointments, they'll do resume review with us, they'll do one-on-one appointments. So students from both those groups can walk in at any time. It's not necessarily an appointment-based service, but we reach out to them a little differently. Because co-op is actually a credit, students have to be followed along through their co-op term. And when they access postings, and secure jobs, those jobs are monitored. So it's a little bit of a different process. But both student groups will access our service, kind of whenever they need it and for whatever they need it for. So Shop for Jobs was created a number of years ago, and it's a partnership with Brock University. And one of the things we like working with Brock is that we have a lot of students going back and forth from Brock to Niagara, Niagara to Brock in programs. And so it gives the students a chance to interact with each other a bit. And at the same time, it's a good community event. It supports the Penn Center. It gets students who are new to this region out and involved right away with one of the local malls.
It's important for students to attend an event like this. It'll definitely help them with their interview skills for post-grad when they're applying for more real jobs. Obviously they'll give them job experience now, which will help them at jobs post-graduation.
It makes it easier for students to get a job. Often if you come in and it's not peak season for hiring, you're not gonna really have that opportunity to get that job.
I think it's wonderful that Brock and Niagara College have set up this job fair. I think it's wonderful for us as employers looking for students. Again, it gives us an opportunity to bring in more quality talent.
The volunteer fair, on the other hand, is something that we've done on our own for, again, a number of years. And it's run in September, it's at the beginning of the year, so that students can get right away connected with the Job Center and get a sense of what we do. And at the same time, meet with some of the agencies in their community that they might be interested in doing a placement with, an internship with, a volunteer opportunity with. So both those events is really just an effort in us trying to connect students right away with an agency, with someone that they might be able to network with within their community. So international students in the volunteer fair, they get a chance to get a sense of what volunteering really is. Because I think in some cultures, volunteering isn't really defined as we would define it in Canada. So those students get a chance to network a little bit, to introduce themselves, to make some connections, to find out what it could be like to volunteer in Canada. Often before the event, the students will come into Co-op and Grad Services and ask for a resume review, or how do I introduce myself, or how do I fill out an application. And so again, it connects them with us early on so they don't feel as though, job search in Canada is completely new to them and they have no assistance. And so it gives them that chance, if nothing else, to walk around, network a bit, introduce themselves, sometimes get feedback on their applications and their resumes and what's needed to volunteer. And at the same time, it's a bit of a social thing for them. I think for a lot of international students, volunteering is a way to make a connection, spend some time, get a Canadian reference on their resume. So it's that whole kind of buying into Canadian culture early on.